46 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Take a look at the intro, and we'll bring you right back with our special guests for tonight's show.
Yeah, run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little dot, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeling for you like you good crack. Yeah. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with a pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back.
All right. This episode, we have with you special guest, Mr. Eric Thompson from Hardwired Outdoors in Montana. Mr. Thompson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, if you don't mind, let's jump right into the show and please tell us anything about your background that you'd like to share with your listeners.
Oh, well, everybody who's even heard or talked to me, they know that there's one thing I like to talk about, and that's hunting, and especially when you get down to bird dogs and bird hunting. But I was one of those fortunate people that grew up in a family that hunted. So this has been my life for as long as I can remember. My favorite saying is that before I was hunting, I was playing I was hunting. So when I was a little boy driving my cars around in the dirt, I was going on a hunting trip every time I left the house.
All right. And have you grown up your entire life in Montana, or?
I'm not. I'm actually from Oregon. I was born and raised in Oregon.
Okay.
So that's where I got into it when things were good. Bird hunting was good. Deer hunting was good. Elk hunting was good. It was a magical time to grow up there.
All right. And well, did you start out hunting in Oregon? All right.
Yes. I've walked a majority of Oregon, I would say. There's very few places that I haven't been. From northeast, southeast, you just pick a corner. I've probably walked there hunting one species or another. And a lot of it I've done hunting birds. Chucker was my main bird when I lived in Oregon. And I cut my teeth on pheasant when we still had a population back then, but then moved to quail and chucker, and really tightening up my dogs when I'm chucker hunting. It makes for a good bird dog.
All right. So now we know that obviously bird is your preferred species. Do you hunt anything else? I heard you just mention pheasant.
Oh yeah. So this year, let's do a round robin of what I've done and where I've been for this year, what I've hunted. I started out in September hunting sharptails and sage grouse in Montana. I've been to Wyoming to a bird camp to hunt sage grouse. Moved back to Montana and hunted sharptail grouse and for a little bit more of September. And then I shot off to Oregon and did a little pheasant hunt that you seen earlier with my grandson and another group. Took my dogs, showed up, wasn't expected, and just got a good little hunt in there with them. That's Idaho, where I went and did a trial earlier in the spring for Griffons. That's what I have. Well, I'll have 3 Griffons, a Drothauer, a wire hair, and a Foster English pointer. So she's up for adoption if anybody's looking. But round that off, that was my bird hunting. Shot down to Utah in October, hunted deer, wound up getting tag soup. Didn't see anything I wanted to pull the trigger on. Hunted some chucker while I was down there, and then back to Montana and into the opening of pheasant season. And that's where I have been for now. I'm heading out this weekend, heading east.
Great. So I'm truly catching you while you're on the hunt. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's been a crazy year. I was like, I have so many places I can go. I have actually turned down one, and I'm probably gonna have to turn down another hunt because I'm just like I have to be home at some point. I have to
Right.
take care of things at the house.
Right. That's totally understood. Totally
But
understood.
it really hurt to have turned down one of them, and the second one's gonna hurt too.
What do you mind me asking? Where were they going? Where were they
One is
headed?
a chucker hunt, was a chucker hunt on the Owahis, and I just didn't have time between getting back from Utah to get back out to Oregon and then get back to Montana. And the next one is going to be in California, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make that one because I'm going to be heading to Oklahoma
All
in the
right.
second week of December. So that would be another really close back to back coming from California, then having to load up the dogs and head to Oklahoma.
All right. Now, about how many dogs do you run at a time
I
when you
generally
go out?
run I generally run two dogs. And just
Okay.
depending on how long I'm going to be there, I would like to stagger them. I have a new puppy. The Drothauer is my new puppy, and she's really picking it up. She started pointing. We went out Saturday afternoon, and she had some really good points. She just didn't hold, so that means if she doesn't hold the point, she doesn't get the bird, so I don't shoot. Uh, and
Right.
I just made that decision. She's run with my older dog, my wire-haired pointing Griffon. She's run with her for most of the season now. One of the things I wanted to do in pairing them up early like that was help her gain confidence. So when you got a new puppy and you want them to start extending out, because when you're hunting out west in a lot of situations, you want your dog to range out further. You want your dog 100, 200 yards, 300 in some circumstances, even four. But my older dog has that range, has that confidence. And I wanted to make sure that my younger dog was able to gain that confidence also. And having somebody to run with, when you're a little kid, you want to go off into the woods, but it's a little scary. But if you have a older person there with you, they pull you out, they get you out, they get you used to it. And that's what the
Yeah.
dog has done. So now she's gotten that confidence and she's starting to move out. And I made the call on Saturday that I will be running them separate so that she can start to realize that it's her mistakes that keep her from getting birds. And when she has successes, they're her successes, not Hex's successes. So the dogs are my wire-haired pointing Griffon is Hex, and my Drothauer is Rune.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I want Rune to come into her own and be ready for season number 2 when it comes around.
Generally, how long would you say it takes to break a dog in?
I I have a real soft hand. I'm not hard on dogs. So this is her puppy year. She can pretty much do whatever she wants. She runs around in the field. She gets lost. At one point this year, she decided she wanted to fight a range bull, and we just kind of let her go her way until she was able to stop because my collar wasn't working. That was my bad, but I didn't check it before I left. It had gotten some mud under it, so I couldn't get her off the bull. But she eventually figured out she wasn't going to get the range bulls, so she came back to me. Uh, but yeah, she gets to pretty much do what she wants. She gets to bust birds, she gets to chase birds, she gets to run around and be crazy because come end of the season, we're gonna put her up on the table. We'll do a gentler form of force fetching. I'm not a hard person on that either, but it's just very repetitive. Everything I do is very repetitive. And it teaches me, I think, more patience than them because naturally we all get frustrated and you want to just but you can't. So you learn to okay, I'm gonna step away. We're gonna put this away and let the dog go sit down. I'm gonna go sit down. Everybody's gonna be happy at the end. And it's that's the way I do it. That's why I'm like this first year she does what she wants. February we put her on the table. We start tuning her up. Come spring when the snow melts, I'll be running her on pigeons and training birds and just really tightening her up so that when second season comes around, she's as steady as my older dog, and I can run two dogs in a brace and not really have to worry about it. She is actually very been very good on her natural backing. So when one dog goes on point, the other dog sees that dog on point, they stop and they point, and they don't bust the birds, except for she's busted the bird. She's naturally backed until I passed her, and then she's like, I got to go get them. And that's something we'll clean up over this spring and summer, and next year she'll come in as a really tight dog.
All right. All right. Now, I have seen pictures of you hunting during all seasons of the year. Is that correct? Or is that like you won't let
That
just
is
the snow
correct.
stop you? Okay.
Nope.
And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, snow doesn't stop me. The only thing that'll stop me is temperature, because I don't want them out if it's too cold. I don't really want to be out when it's single digits, and I don't want to worry about my dogs out there in single digits. But as soon as we
Gotcha.
break that 15 to 20, we head out.
Nice. All right. Now, are you able to go out and do this every day if you wanted to,
I am.
or is it basically based on the dogs? Like, I'm sorry, I'm basically asking about the dogs. Are they are they in a position to where they're good enough to go out every day if you wanted to, even during the snow?
So my dogs are very well conditioned. My dogs are better conditioned than I am. I'm the weak link in this. They're they're conditioned. They're conditioned to all sorts of temperatures. Honestly, heat is more of a worry to me than cold. So I would rather run them all day in 20, 30-degree weather than in the summer. When we start early in September, you're generally done by 10 or 11 because the dogs get too hot for the kind of
Okay,
dogs I have.
gotcha, gotcha. Now, I've seen you do solo hunting, and then
Mhm.
I've also seen you in groups. So, which do you prefer? Which are you? Are you better on your feet when you're on your own, or what?
That's a good question. I love getting out with other people. I love getting out with my buddies and going to bird camps. That's what I'm doing next weekend. I love sharing that experience, getting there, having some beers, drinking some whiskey at the end of the day, talking about what your dogs have done, what you did, if you did, if because everybody obviously can't hunt in the same spot. So we get to share these stories around the campfire or around the uh, kitchen, wherever we're staying, be it tents or if we're hoteling it or Airbnb in it. We get to sit around the table and have these conversations that are just a good part. One of the best parts of the experience is being in the bird dog community and sharing that with other people. Now, that said, there's nothing better than walking across the prairie, just you, your dogs, and the world going in front of you. Clouds passing by, sky going over, kicking rocks, looking under bushes. The peace of being out there alone is something that you can't beat. So I'm torn. I love the camaraderie, but I
Mhm.
also love being by myself in the wild and in nature.
Gotcha. See, I'm more of a wild hog hunter, and I'm the same way. I don't mind having a group and having some buddies out there to do it, but there's something about that feeling of just me, a dog, and us together on the hunt for a wild hog that it does it sometimes. I, Sometimes a little bit more than the group. I have to say, sometimes a little bit more than the group. Yep, yeah. But I guess that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the way things go for hunters and our preferences. I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Um, how about Can you talk any about your cleaning and eating of your birds?
Uh, it all depends. I had a great experience with Jonathan from Black Duck Revival down at his
Okay.
lodge and learning about cooking and doing certain things. And that just really stuck with me. So I've changed from my normal just skin them out, get it done quick, chop everything up, throw it into some noodles or something else, to actually plucking most of my birds, letting them age a little bit in the fridge. Right now, uh, Melissa, my partner, she opened the refrigerator and she's like, "Did you get that bird just today?" And I was like, "Yeah, we went out for a lunchtime hunt." And she's like, "Oh, okay," because there's this bird just hanging out on top of the egg carton. And she's very understanding. But I like to pluck a lot more of my birds. I like to sear that skin. I like to I've gotten into a lot more of how to make things taste better from that experience that I had down there in Arkansas.
All right. All right. Now, when I see, do you actually do any outfitting, and do you take people out with you, or I mean, besides friends or anything?
I don't do any outfitting. I don't have my guide's license,
You guide them,
but I
okay.
do take people out with me. And it's not for money. It's generally new hunters. That is my gig. I love getting people out in the field because bird hunting is my thing. Hey, I can take people out deer hunting, I can take them out elk hunting. It's not going to be as great as experience as they'll get if they come out bird hunting with me. If they want to learn about dogs, if they want to learn about habitat, if they want to learn about the birds themselves, that's where you're getting the full meal deal with me. And I volunteer anytime I can to introduce new hunters into the sport of bird hunting. And even if you don't like it, even if that's not your jam, you've learned something new and you might be okay. Now I decide I want to go do big game hunting. And I'm all about that because for me, I don't have well, you shoot sub gauge shotguns. So I'm an elite because I shoot a sub gauge shotgun. I shoot the same 12 gauge I bought when I was 18 at for a lot of my
Really,
hunts. I love that gun. It's the
really.
best gun I've ever spent money on. And I'm not well, you got these fancy clothes or you got this. I am the you do those things. You shoot sub gauge shotguns. Good on you, man. I love that. I want you to go out there and succeed. You got Sitka? Great. I'm your man. You go out there. I want you to succeed. You have some jeans on and you don't have any good boots? Here, let me help you find some good boots and we'll get you out there. I am just your biggest fan if you want to get out there and hunt. It does not matter how you hunt, what you hunt, as long as you're legal. I'm your biggest fan to get out there and hunt.
All right, that's what I like to hear there. Now, how about the story of Hardwired Outdoors?
Hardwired is just, I wanted to. Honestly, I did not want to be the persona for it. I wanted it to be about my dogs. I wanted it to be about my friends. I wanted it to be about my family, but nobody else wanted to get in front of the camera. And then every time I accidentally got in front of the camera, and especially if I said something on video, everybody seemed to like it. And t-shirt sales would go up, and video views would go up, and socials would go up. And I'm like, well, I'm not the guy. I'm the guy with the idea. I'm not the guy who's supposed to be in front. Here, look at my dogs. They're awesome dogs. I love these guys. But that's just how it played out. And what I do with Hardwire is, once again, I want to promote hunting. I want to show it as a family friendly uh, activity. And I want you to know that if I get out there, so I'm not here for the fame or the fortune. I'm here to show you that I'm just an average guy who gets out here and does this. My only lead in is that I was born into a hunting family, but it's nothing spectacular. I can show you what to do. I can show you how to start. I can show you all the ins and outs. And all you have to have is the willingness to get out there and do.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. All right. This has been a phenomenal experience for me to finally be able to put two and two together and to speaking with you, and also, everything that I've seen from you hunting in either Montana or Oregon. So I really want to thank you. All right. I really want to thank you, Mr. Eric Thompson, coming on the episode here today. This has been episode 46 of the WarDawg Trail. Mr. Thompson, is there anything that you would like any of your viewers or followers to know, or anything you have going on in the future?
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. It's been fun. You can always get me to talk about, like I said, birds, bird dogs, bird hunting. I'm your man if you want to talk about it. And what I have going on in the future, like I said, I'm going to be heading down to Oklahoma, so we'll be documenting that. Just follow along and please get outside. If you, whatever it takes, get out there. If you need an encouragement, send me an IM. I'll IM you back. I'm not unreachable.
All right. Okay. Well, there you have it. We had a phenomenal guest. As I told you I would, I've been rolling out my latest series of phenomenal figures in the outdoors and hunting and in the military, all influential people. Mr. Eric Thompson is another one of those, and that's why I had to get him on the show. This has been episode 46 again of the WarDawg Trail. Have a good week. Salute.
Yeah. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bend, hit the crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The folk feel short, nigga folk flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little drop, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeling for you like you good crack. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bend, hit the crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The folk feel short, nigga folk flat. Run it back, run it back, run it back.